Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make wholemeal bread. Now this flour is available from my eBay store if you want to buy it, so there is a link down in the description. Also in the description you'll find chapters and also a recipe for you guys so you can make it at home. Obviously I'm making it slightly larger. You'll probably need to scale it down by half most likely, but the recipe is in the description. And whilst you're down there, if you want to, please subscribe. Anyway, we'll get right on with the video. And for your recipe, you want 1300 grams of water, 28 grams of salt, 28 grams of bread improver, or you can use vitamin C, 56 grams of baker's yeast. This is the fresh stuff. And for your flour, 1,812 grams of wholemeal flour. Now we've weighed the recipe up. All we need to do is now make the dough. But the important part is getting everything right in temperature wise. Now, at normal circumstances at home in your kitchen, it all wants to be around about 20 Celsius, no higher at this part, because you need your dough to move. But in saying that, in the summer months, you'll find when you turn the tap on, your tap is going to be running out of warm water, not cold water that it should be. So just remember that, and also all your ingredients are going to be a lot warmer because of the temperature in your kitchen. So the idea then is to make it with really stone cold water and just wait. It's the easiest route. But in the winter time, it's the opposite way around. You need warm water. You can see where I'm going with this. Wintertime, warm water. Summertime, cold water. And again, your ingredients is the same. At wintertime, your ingredients are usually going to be cold. In the summertime, they're going to be warm. I should be using a thermometer in the bakery, but I don't. I do everything by hand temperature. 40 years of experience. I suppose that's got something to do with it. But when you're new at baking, it is very difficult and it is all trial and error. But once you get it, you've got it. Anyway, we'll get on with the dough. And now I've got our ingredients into the bowl. So yeast and flour in. Add in your improver and your salt. Always make sure your salt is away from your yeast. So your yeast is over here, just for now. Add in your water. Now that dough is going to be taking around about 10 minutes to mix. The dough's now been mixing for around about 5 minutes. And as you can see by the dough itself, it's looking though it's actually starting to turn into a dough. Now at this stage it's a good thing to actually check your dough to make sure it's not too stiff and not too slack. If it's too slack, add some more flour. And if it's a bit hard, add some more water. We'll have a look. That is actually on the slack side, but with wholemeal, it will suck up the water. As it's almost like your cornflakes. You add milk onto your cornflakes and it always sucks up water, doesn't it? You know what a rich tea biscuit looks like when you put it in tea and it drops in. It soaks up the tea. Right, we'll give that another 5 minutes. At any stage, if you want to speed up your mixing and you've got a machine that you can actually put it onto second speed, then go for it. But remember, if you're upping the speed of the dough, you want to cut down the time that you're mixing it. Right, the dough's ready. And we'll get her off. So we'll leave it in the bowl for now, and then we'll get it out on the table and we'll scale it off. Just cover it over. Dough's ready. We've turned off the machine. Now you need to let that rest for around about 10 to 15 minutes until it just starts to move. Now if you're not using any bread improver, you need to wait for it to double its size. Now remember, it all depends on the temperature that everything's at. Like today for me, it's quite warm in here, so that 10 minutes might be 5 minutes. So you really need to keep an eye on it. But if you're not using any improvers, fine. just do it the same way as you would normally do it. Let it bulk, scale it, mould it. That's the easiest route. Right, so this is what your dough should look like. It's got a nice like spring back. And obviously this is rested now for around about 10 minutes. So it's actually ready to go. This, with the improver in, it can get a little bit sticky, and I prefer it a little bit stickier side than a little bit too stiff. Because in baking, all that water will evaporate anyway. Right, we'll get in scaler off. Now it depends on what you want out of the dough. Put plenty of flour down. So, three small loaves. And I should get 2 large ones. So that's the amount of dough you get out of that mix. Normally at this stage, we'd be resting it, but because of the type of dough it is, you really just want to get on and mold them up. So I'm going to mold these into cobs type shape. This is going to go into my bread tins. So when you're molding them up, you've got like a little tail. So one-handed. I am actually right-handed and this is my left hand. So then what we're doing is we're sort of pushing it into the table using this part, like this. See? So you're creating that tail. Like that. Now with these, it's a different kettle of fish. And what we need to do is knock it out. Use the back of your hand like this. Right, fold it over. And then using that part across here and just do that and then grab hold of it and sort of roll it up. Like that. Once again, pat it out, fold it over and then just sort of roll it over, almost like doing a Chelsea. And now we'll pop these into tins. Right, your tins are in your proving box. I've already sprayed the tins with prep spray. This is what's available off my eBay store, if you want any. So we'll just get the bread dough into the tins. Now for proving, these are going to be proving for around about 3/4 an hour, give or take. And the height of the loaf when they're ready is up to about this high. These ones won't because of the shape of the tins. Depends on your tins, but around about this high, give or take. Now you're going to be proving these at a temperature of around about 25 Celsius. And that's about it. In fact, you don't need a box or anything really. You can just cover it over if you want. But I prefer to use the box if I'm at home. Now all we do is cover them over. There's your wholemeal in the prover box, all ready. Now that should take around about 45 minutes to prove up. We'll now have a look at the wholemeal. Oh yes, just ready. So what we want to do now is just put them over by the oven. Now, you can see how high that is. Now it's up to you. I like to put a line across the top of it, or you can just leave it as it is. Right, and we'll get them into the oven. Now I'm just going to bake these on the deck of the oven. Now the oven temperature is 270 Celsius and we're going to be baking them for around about 30 to 35 minutes. Depends on your oven. That's my oven. So give or take, halfway through, just turn around and you'll be on the money. Right folks, the bread's ready. We'll get it out. And a good way of telling if your bread's done, just look at the bottom, give it a little tap, it's hollow, it's ready. Just take them out the tins and let them cool down. Well, this is the loaf that comes out of the bread flour I sell on the eBay store. And as you can see, it's a nice loaf. Now, you can add white flour to this if you like, but that'll just make it rise a bit further. And also, with the same flour, if you beat it up on second speed, again, you're going to get a high volume. So this stuff is actually quite good for your machines and those little box machines, you know, the ones that throw the flour in, it makes it for you. Well, there you go, guys. It's as simple as that. Well, there you go, folks. It's simple wholemeal. Okay, I'm a baker and I'm trying to teach you guys how to bake like me. I know it's going to be difficult because obviously I've got 40 years experience on you guys, but hey, anything's possible. So if you enjoy this channel and you enjoy what I'm doing, please subscribe if you want to. And don't forget to check out the description because there's a recipe down there for you. So I've sort of made the recipe in half of what this is to make it easier for your little machines. Though that was quite a small amount of dough anyway. And we'll see you again very shortly on the Crazy Baker channel. Laters! This is the Crazy Baker channel. Baking. Lifestyle, recipes, reviews, I am the Crazy Baker. Please subscribe and please share. Laters!